Welcome to Soccer as We Like It, the MANUTD direction. And today we're doing a Premiership update with teams as UK Premier League is on a winter break. But today we're joined with teams and fans of each team indicating what and where their teams are currently as the Premiership table took a little break. We're introducing today with Vimal representing United. How are you,
Hey
Vimal?
guys, very good. How are you all?
Representing the UK, we have Joe, Houston Red Army, the Soul Man, the Peacemaker. Joe, welcome to the show.
What's up, fellas?
And we have Ben representing Liverpool from Dallas, Texas. How are you, mate? You all right?
Good, nice. Good to see everyone. Happy New Year.
And representing the Hybrid Faithful, Arsenal, the Gunners, represented by Mike in San Antonio, Texas. How are you, Mike? You all right, mate?
Doing all right, bro.
All right, let's get this show kicking. Now, the Premiership's on a 2-week break. Teams are making transfers because it just happened to be in the transfer market time when they had this break. Some teams are doing well. Some teams are just watching the stock like it's like watching the stock exchange. But some teams are just doing good business to improve their teams to get to better positions. We're going to start with Liverpool. Liverpool, how are we so far? What's your team doing so far in the Premier League? You are currently second with 48.9 behind City.
Yeah, game in hand.
Game in hand.
Game in hand. Can't complain right now. Finally, a lot of people, the Luis Diaz business might be completed, most likely, looks like. So that put, if we had gone one more transfer window without doing anything substantial, I think people would have been really antsy. But he's a good cover for Mane. From what I've seen of the guy from Champions League, the only games I saw him in was Champions League. He's a good finisher. He's got some speed. He's your typical Jurgen Klopp kind of guy. Big thanks to Tottenham for making us get off our butts and buy someone because they were after him. So I think he was supposed to come in the summer, I'm guessing, but they decided to extend that. But let's see what happens. So far, I'm happy we're still alive. We've got a League Cup final coming up on the 27th. Still alive in the FA Cup. Reached the next round of Champions League, and we're second with so not much to complain about.
Right, you are 9 points behind City, game in hand. Is
that
clawable? Can you claw that lead back? You think you can?
Personally, I wish, but with the way those guys are running on all cylinders, chances are very slim. They're fine-tuned now. Their players have a good chemistry about them. I think they will. Maybe there's a chance we might close to within 4 or 5 points, but I think let's see what happens. Let's see what weirder stuff has happened, but we'll see.
All right, Mike. Arsenal currently in 6th position, 36 points, 21 games played, two games in hand on everyone else. A few teams, a game in hand on United. Where are Arsenal today, mate? What we're looking at transfer wise? Where are you guys at?
I'm sorry, hold up. What position was that again?
Sixth.
Oh, okay. I think my earphones glitched out.
Why are you taking the mic now, mate? So cheeky.
Brother Tim, you already know how I feel about all of this. It's like it's like a dead hope that that you wish that you can revive, but
there she is.
Introducing us, Man City Sonny. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Excellent. How are you guys?
We are great.
Hey.
But I'm not happy. As usual, I guess they say every time I'm on, it's like I'm not happy, and I guess you could say I'm in the same position. Transfer window is not going to change because we still got the same manager, the same NT, if you want to call it, same idiot, put it like that. And until we get rid
As the IoT.
of that, I'm sorry. That's how I feel about Mikel Arteta. Hey, gunner for I'm a gooner to the death, but that's how I feel. You get what I mean? It's right now. It's like it's pathetic. It's pathetic, and like and it's and as a fan, it's like you know what I'm saying. It's like you know what I'm saying. It's like me being an Arsenal fan is like how a Cowboys fan feel right now.
Oh. Joe, I know you're loving that.
You know what I mean? It's like that's just
Yes.
how it is. It's like I mean
I
we're
love it.
Arsenal. I mean just like I bet you man you feel the same way. I mean all the you know what I'm saying all the what we call it like Chelsea or whatever. If Chelsea was about to get relegated, I guarantee it'll be a riot. And the bigs like just to be in the sixth spot on the table, which we was just you know what I'm saying fourth place like you know what I'm saying want to say like a month ago, and now it's like wow how do we fall from glory and can't even you know what I'm saying keep you know what I'm saying keeping that same pace. Mikel Arteta has to go, and if he doesn't, then I'm gonna just send a whole bunch of hate mail until he leaves.
All right. Well, what can I say? United, Vimal and Joe. Where are United? United are currently fourth in the table.
Mhm.
They are 38 points,
Yeah.
22 games played. They are literally 9 points behind the third spot. Let me start
Yeah.
with Joe. Where are United going now? Transfer wise, in terms of football wise, are they going to stay in that position?
No, I'm actually worried of what's going to happen if we don't do what we need to do in the transfer window. It's one of those situations again with Manchester United not being able to look at the field and look at your situation and try to elevate yourself again. Try to do better. Constantly trying to do better. It seems like if we don't make any trades coming in, not going out, coming in, especially at the midfielder position, it's gonna feel like we're at the 60th. It's gonna feel like we're at the 60th minute. We're up 1-0, and we decided to go defensive. We're just gonna try to hold what we got. Where in order for us to be a lot more successful in the Champions League, a lot more successful in these cups, certainly holding that fourth position, we have to get better. We can't hold that position with the current squad that we have now.
Wow.
We would have to, if we kept the squad, we would have to elevate our game at a much higher level. You know, we would, and I don't really see that coming. You know, I can see, you know, our last set of games, we've been in decent form. You know, only one loss under Ragnick, but we're not scoring goals, man.
Yeah.
We're not scoring goals. These 1-0s, 1-1s, it's not going to cut it in the long run. So that's how I feel about it right now.
Vimor.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I mean, the transfer activity is just null and void at the moment. I don't know what they're playing at, but I guess historically we have always been the team that does the transfer on the last day, in the very last few hours. So I'm sure they're working on something, and the CDM is something we've been crying out for a long time. So I expect a CDM to come along maybe in the last hour of the 31st.
On the 31st. Why do you not just wait to the very last day?
I have
As
no
if they're
idea.
looking for the cheapest options when
Well,
other people have already done the business and shut them down and ready to get the player ready in to start training?
The cheapest option was Dennis Zakaria, who went for 5 million because he didn't want to sign a new contract with his current club, and he was one of the best CDMs in the Bundesliga, and Ragnick wanted him. So it seems like the powers that be are not backing Ragnick 100%.
That's another scary thing about the situation, because Ragnick is then supposed to, if he doesn't stay as a manager, which I don't think he should, he's supposed to then transfer over to that managerial position where he's supposed to be in the room making the same decisions that we're trying to make now.
That's
if they're not listening to him now, where he has a hands-on knowledge of what the team needs, what the hell is going to happen? When
it's a little bit worrying.
The manager.
That is very true. Right.
There's also the other theory that they're not spending a lot now because he's there to kind of patch up all the damage that Oli has created in the past 3 years. So I think he's there just to fix the squad. He's come in as like a repairman
So
for the
are
next
they-
5
Okay,
months.
doesn't a repairman need tools? You need
Yeah,
tools, right?
he has to bring his 20 years experience of mental tools.
So let me ask the United fans. So the board, are they expecting any trophies with this squad with what they have now? Are they expecting a trophy this season?
No,
Because
they're
they've not
not.
won
They're
anything in
not.
the last 3 years.
They're not. I don't know if they're gonna change their mind now that now that Tom Brady is not gonna win the Super Bowl. I don't know, but I was like, okay, I guess we got to get a trophy somewhere.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they'll be fine with just top 4, and they don't. The bad thing is they don't understand that in order for us to get top 4, we need to do better, at least with the squad, or and the least likely option, us just all of a sudden playing lights out football.
Right.
You know.
Right. Let's bring in Sonny representing Man City. Sonny, how are you today?
Thank you. I am so sorry that I was late. I was having ice cream. I was, not a care in the world, just carefree. So I apologize, gentlemen. I'm great.
No worries.
It's okay, Sonny. We were having such a good time.
See that. Yes. Hi. What was the question?
Right. Man City currently leading the table as much as people are like, they are running away slightly with the league title. There are 57 points. The nearest is Liverpool with 9 points and a game in hand behind Man City. Sonny, as it stands, how do you feel with City already leading with only bloody 15 games to go? And you're leading with 9 points. How do you feel?
Great. I think we're going to win the league.
Point blank, period. Nothing else said.
So that Liverpool, do you have anything to debate against that winning the league statement? Do you concede the league to the City? Because you're the only one who could stop it.
No, I mean they're ahead. They have enough. It's not bragging if you can back it up. And right now they're backing it up. So it's up to us to kind of make a fight of it now.
So when does the white flag come out, or does the white flag not come out to the very last?
It's not over till the fat lady sings. So
right. Sonny, how are you guys doing in the transfer market? I heard you guys are doing quite good things there. How are we?
I think we're kind of all over the place. We have, I think we acquired this 17-year-old Hungarian teenager, Zelan Vanksa. And we're trying to get Julian Alvarez.
Right,
so Ferran Torres is out. So goodbye, Ferran. Thank you. And there's just gossip still of getting other players, but right now that's all we have. So all we need is one good forward, and that'll make our team more complete.
You know what's so baffling? A team that's already established as dominating are still trying to remain dominant. The teams who should acquire to pursue don't buy. So Vimal and Joe, where does United fit into the City Man United? What is going on here, mate? Vimal,
We're just a terribly run team. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
What was the question?
Go
Sorry.
ahead,
Vimal, you can see City, who are leading the table, are acquiring to remain good and continue to dominate. United, who want to get there, are not buying to get there. What's the problem there?
I think our transfer strategy is just is broken. It has been broken for quite some time. So until they can get a strategy in place, get the new heads together, in terms of Fletcher and Murto and Ragnick, and work on a new strategy. I think until then, we're not just going to start randomly spending like we did under Ole. So I think possibly there is some serious planning and discussion taking place. I think this, top 4 is our remit this season. I don't think there's not much else we can do, really.
Joe.
Yeah, man, we're just a terribly ran team. It seems like every transfer window is a new plan. Every time. It seems like a new plan. It seems like whenever a transfer window shows up, it's like that's when the guys that are supposed to be doing the business get like an alert. on their Google Calendar or something, you know, because like there's no preparation, right? It doesn't seem like there's any preparation prior, because it's at the beginning of the transfer when it seems like, well, they're all trying to do the work. So that's why it goes all the way to the end, the transfer window. Nothing's set up. No conversations are being had prior to the window opens. No
Right.
calls are being made. Like I just don't get it. Nobody runs a business like this. No successful person, but that's how they've decided to do this. And hopefully,
Yeah.
Ragnick changes it. But I'm sure Ragnick is looking at this transfer window and is like, and looking at the way we're moving, and I'm sure he's not looking at it as like, because he comes from, you know, RB Leipzig and the way those teams are ran, right? He knows what it's like to be involved with a well-run team. So history would tell if he can be a positive influence on the team, in the boardroom, in the front office, or just somebody that'll be swept aside and used as a yes man, like Ole.
Oh wow. Liverpool. You missed a few players going to AFCON, Salah, Sane, and a few
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
How impactful did that cause your team to lose a few ground on Man City? Do you think it was a big issue, or do you think it was, even if they would have
No,
made a difference?
if you look at it, I think I'm not sure if we lost any games since Salah. Our last
Yeah.
defeat was against Leicester City, and we lost there, but Salah was playing in that one, and so was Mane. But after that, since the two of them left, Diogo Jota stepped up. The one problematic game was the first leg against Arsenal in the League Cup semi-final at home, where, you know, we drew 0-0. We couldn't score against a 10-man Arsenal team. But then, you know, we sorted it out when we went to Emirates after that. Jota has stepped up, plus some lucky bounces here and there. And all our campaigns are still alive, even with
Yeah,
both Salah and
you're in 3 tournaments: FA Cup, League Cups, final.
Yeah. And the only thing, unfortunately, I mean, I'm seeing the Luis Diaz thing is almost done. I think we can say it's done right now. The other rumor I'm seeing is Fabio Carvalho from Fulham. But you know, Fulham have to agree to a price on him. He'll come gradually. He's like, I think, what, 18 or 19 years old, but he's already scored 7 goals in the championship. So he's not going to, I don't know if he'll make an immediate impact. But Diaz, we're hoping, will make some impact. The thing is, like, I mean, we've got a, like, the flow is there. Players have stepped up what Klopp was wanting.
Right.
A lot of our fans, especially, you know, even when the summer, when we only brought in Konate, everyone seems to put a lot of pressure on the owners. In my opinion, the owners are not the reason for the low level of transfer activity, for the quietness in transfer activity. It has more to do with Klopp. Klopp's a man manager. Many times he has the veto power whether to bring in a player or doesn't bring in a player. If FSG asks him, you know, who they need, he says, well, fine, I've got everything controlled, because he uses his personal relationship with every player to motivate them to step above and beyond, go above and beyond. And you can't do that with a big squad. And I mean, the squad that we have, so far we are par for the course. Like, I find it very hard to complain about anything. The only thing I have is this highline strategy with the defense, which can be very risky. It almost cost us against Crystal Palace. But you know, like, if you execute it well, it's a pretty good strategy.
Right.
Though it kind of exposes our defense a little. But I'd like to see now where if there's no more business before the 1st of February, I'm totally cool with it. How can you complain when the team plays like this? You know, where
No,
they
I
are.
mean, you
Yeah,
played well.
there's very little to complain about. They're competing. They're probably the only team that's making
City look behind the
City
window.
look up behind their shoulder. But and we so I mean I don't know what more I can
Chelsea's
ask.
falling off.
Yeah, I don't know what more I can ask of this team right now.
I know you played 2 games shorter than Chelsea. Chelsea are only a point behind you. They played 2
Yeah,
games
yeah,
more than you, which is
yeah,
a good thing.
yeah.
So Arsenal, as it stands now, I mean, it's not over. I don't think it's over yet. I mean, it's only you still got 17 games to go, and anything can happen in Premier League, as we all know. So I still think top 4 is still fightable. I mean, but the only worry for United and Arsenal is Spurs, who have 3 games in hand,
Oh yeah.
and they're only 2 points behind United and Spurs, and West Ham. So Spurs are a worry with Conte. So Arsenal, how are you feeling with Spurs right there, right behind you, and 3 games in hand?
I guess you could say it's any given Sunday, if you want to put it in that aspect. Conte is not a we're gonna say a mediocre manager as well. I mean,
he's very good.
I mean, he's been with Chelsea and also with other some clubs in City A, and I mean, look, what he did with Juventus and things of that nature, and so I mean and he's more seasoned than this person I don't want to mention, Nicola Arteta. That's that's our manager.
Count Dracula.
Voldemort.
I don't know. I guess it's so frustrating on how it's like even just glancing at our it's like our record and losses and things of that nature, and it's just I don't know. It's like, and Spurs being our rivals, it's along with Chelsea, and seeing how it's a possibility that we can fall from glory and be overtaken at any moment. It just becomes frustrating, and especially as a fan, like a fanatic fan, like it gets to the point where it's like it feels like a devastating thud in my heart. You know what I mean? And
my point of question, you're actually both on the same points. I just looked at that. You and Spurs are on the same points, and they have 3 games ahead, 3 games in hand.
But they can, like you said, it's still time. It's still time, and I think that we'll be mid-table by the end of the
mid-table. So you're written top 4 off. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying like this. I can put money on it. We'll be 10.
I reckon Arsenal, you probably stay in 6, and I think West Ham will drop off because they don't have the.
Look. Come on, we lost to Nottingham Forest. I mean, who does that? I mean, in the FA Cup, that's exactly who does that.
Joe, it wasn't your turn. Stop being so.
You ain't got to rub it in, but I mean.
Right. Let me go to City. I mean, I don't even know where to start with Man City. I just don't even know where to start because it seems everything just going so good
right now.
She can't stop smiling. Look.
I don't even need to be here. I just need to put my flag up.
Oh, wow.
What did I tell you, gentlemen?
I get it. It's just that
where's the chink in the armor, Sonny? Tell us.
Let's see. The chink in the armor will be possibly when managers swap over. That's always, the chink is any change. That's why a lot of people don't really like change, is that there's always a transitional period. Now, change is good because you're growing, hopefully, for the better. But I think that'll be a chink when Pep leaves. So I think that's going to be a big chink there. Okay. And just finding another specialist, another coach, because Pep is a specialist, and so I don't know how he got to being. I don't know how coaches really work at that level, but he's a specialist. So finding another person who really specializes in that kind of detail work. So I think that's going to be the chink. Right now, the chink in the armor is, I hate to say it because he's my boy, but it's Sterling. He's being very inconsistent, and sometimes it's a G Jesus, but he's been on point ever since Grealish got there. It's like that's something that maybe a good rhythm person needed to join the team to make it happen. But I see Sterling is easy to fall over. He's lightweight, seems like, and he's not accurate. And simple things to me as a professional, he should be able to hone in on. So I don't know what's with him. I don't want to see him leave, but that is a chink. So.
But he wants to leave himself, doesn't he? He's been putting
why does he want
a
to
few
leave?
stories out.
Is it because he's not getting enough playing time? Why does he want to leave? I mean, he achieved a lot there. He's won like 4 league titles or 3, he's literally won a lot.
Yeah. I really don't know why he wants to leave. I've heard that he just has, I didn't think this about him, but I heard other people who like City say that he thinks too much of himself. But I think like a lot of footballers do. So that's just how it rolls. So I don't know.
Maybe Liverpool will take him back.
Hey, would ya?
What?
You wouldn't take Sterling back?
No, chemistry is important for us. We don't want someone who might spoil it, who might disrupt the chemistry. And plus, there's still guys on the team who are Henderson is still there. James Milner is still there. There's people who remember how he left. So I don't know if the thing is like, I mean, he's a talented player. He's really good. Honestly, I know why he wants to leave. If that is true, it's because with him, a major part of his reputation is tied to the England team. So he needs that. He needs to be in the England setup. And if his fortunes at his club aren't at their best, then his place in the England side is in jeopardy. So I mean, I think I understand why he might be unhappy with playing time or whatever.
Go to what other team? I mean, outside the Premier League. I mean, I don't.
We'd have to go outside. We'd have to go outside, unless Tottenham can pull him. That's the only other team that I can
don't see him go to Spurs.
He's tailor-made for Tottenham. He's tailor-made for Tottenham.
He's a very good player. I mean, with all due respect, he's a good player, and he was England's star man to a point in the last Euros.
I feel like Arsenal could use him too.
Yeah. Guess what his value is at the moment.
Mike, do you agree? Do you think Sterling will make an impact for Arsenal?
Oh yeah, but the thing is that
it's too pricey.
I mean, can't have weapons with a can't have weapons in a good army, but still with a crappy, with a crappy general.
Oh man,
it doesn't matter.
You want Arteta out, mate.
I just want him gone. I was just like this. It's like I want him gone. I want the Matrix to be over and Arsene Wenger to be out and be back, but that's not going to never happen. So I mean, it's just no. He needs to go. Bye. I'll at him.
Wow. No, with City dominating so well and being consistent. I mean, I think the last 8 games they've literally just stepped up. Apart from the last game whereby Southampton nearly took them out, but they still were able to pull out something from the bag and survive without even a striker, and that is a bit concerning. But this guy's been playing well. De Bruyne has scored some really crucial goals. Bimo, as you see City week in, week out, what goes through your mind? I know, as United fans, what goes through your mind?
It's a very well-oiled machine, and it's a system that works well. Players can rotate out of the team very easily, and someone else fills in, and the system never fails. Players play in different position, and it all still works. So the players are part of a well-oiled machine. So yeah, it works very well.
Same question for Joe. When you see City, even the hardest games, they still find a way to get it without a striker. What goes through your mind as a United fan?
I mean, yeah, it seems like the team as an organization is being ran very well. And this is something that, as far as like organizationally, even after Pep Guardiola leaves, if they maintain that same identity, that same ethos, that same culture, they can bring in another manager and just let them know this is how we do things, blase, blase. So all you have to do is really do what you got to do on the pitch. and they can have longevity from that. Just it's kind of like the, you know, how they talk about the Manchester United mentality, you know, the style of play, whatever. City has an opportunity to carry this on, to solidify it and carry it on to the next manager, all right? Just as long as they don't mess it up and just have another manager come in and try to change the image of the team and the style or whatever, and they should be fine. So I don't see them falling off that drastically, even after Pep Guardiola leaves. But with the Sterling thing, one of the key things about City that's working for them is like that team is deep, man. That team is fucking deep. Their second squad is a top 16, you know, and you can put that on Pep Guardiola. You can put that on their recruiting. They have recruited well. That's why they don't look any different when the second team comes in. So that's just where we're trying. If Manchester United can get our team to play like their second team, I think we're making top 4. You know, that's where we are right now.
It has got to that point.
It's got to that point. I'm not afraid to say it. It is what it is.
No, I like your honesty.
You know, and that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about Manchester City. Just skip me from now on.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, as a United fan support, and you see City doing well, you could say, okay, how did it go so wrong for United? And the dominance, it's not even it's the consistency. I think they won in the last 10 years. They must have won about 6 times. And Chelsea and Liverpool popping in 1 or 2 times there. I think they've dominated the last 10 years, which is what United used to do. But it's like they don't seem like they're falling off anytime soon, only if Pep goes. But from what Sonny's saying, even if they take Pep out, they're just going to get guys, just follow this and everything be fine. Recruit the right way. And I don't think it's going to be like United, whereby when Alex Ferguson left, we just went completely just disappeared off the face of the earth. So, Sonny, if Pep does go, is there any fear that you might have a whole transitional build? You're not scared of that?
Yes, I do. And I agree with the United representative,
right?
That you know, it's all about culture. You know, it's all about having those systems in place and the templates and adhering strictly to it if it works, and getting people to buy in on that, drink the Kool-Aid or whatever. But they have to really, you know, believe in it. But I think with great leaders, I mean, taking down a great leader can take down armies, and we've seen that in history, you know. And sometimes people are just irreplaceable, and so that's my biggest thing, because someone who can do these great things, Julius Caesar, and you know, these people who led big armies and things like that. I mean, it's something. I mean, you really have to have a certain kind of dedication that I don't see many people have. I think many people, in my opinion, now I'm on my soapbox, I think many people are lazy, and that's natural. That's natural to be lazy. I think the human, you know, is lazy. But you have some people who like to perfect things. When they commit to something, they have this, their entertainment is to study things so well. That's part of their mindsets, or that's part of their personality, is to study things that they commit to. And you have players, that's why some players are so good. They're willing to study frame by frame, the little bitty fractions, you know, where some people like, I can't hold my attention that long, you know. And a lot of today people are becoming, you know, less and less able to hold their attention for even. Very
true. Social media is a big problem somewhere.
Oh yeah. So these people who have this mentality, or they're born like this or whatever, they just enjoy to slow things down and study things frame by frame, and just really, and it's not about the money. It's not about the power, you know. And that's the thing. Most people are going for money, power, status, special. And so we have somebody who doesn't care about that, and they just enjoy simplicity and humility. Those are the ones. And so they are hard to come by. And that's why I say that that's a big, you know, to find someone like that.
Look at Joe.
And I will say this, a lot of those people are squashed, Aristotle and Socrates and all these people are forced to, drink hemlock or
Joe, calm down.
She's comparing Pep Guardiola to Aristotle. Stop it. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
Hell yeah. Those people are
Aristotle, are you serious? Julius Caesar?
Hell yeah, they're coveted and they're so envied and so squashed down and imprisoned and put at the bottom. It's hard for those people to come up. And so you have these puppets, popping up, So yeah, I think Pep is one of the superior class.
But you remember what happened to Julius Caesar, right? How he was taken down.
He was betrayed by Brutus.
You're usually always betrayed by the people closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dad always used to say, the person who's gonna, kill you is the person who has a key to your house. So,
I.e. Raheem Sterling.
hey.
If I may add, family, if I may say, I think what Miss Sunny is trying to say, and be exact, Arsenal and Man U is actually experiencing right now. It's like we have, we have brilliant world-class players, but the management and the culture of the organization of the team is actually not there on what we need it to be and what we know it to be. When Fergie was at Man U, there is, he had everything in place. Those the culture, especially, whatever whatever he touched was golden. And be exact, the competitive mindset during the Cantona and think about all of the world-class players that he actually brought there, and took titles. That's what he wanted. Titles, especially when the year that y'all took the triple. So, and when Arsenal came in '96 and did the do, and then the year the 2004 the year when we became invincible. Those are the, I guess, when those giants left, now it's like it's hard to replace. And we, as fans that seen it and lived it, we want to be like, oh man, we want those glory days back. And when Pep leaves Man City, because of what is in place, that culture is hopefully to keep on going.
Right.
But what I'm saying, and whatever he put in place, if not for somebody to come and tear it down and become a yes man to the, to the powers that be, or we're going to say the ownership. That's the part that I think that you could say that becomes the frightening part, the scary part, when it gets to the point where it's like, man, are we going to be? We used to be we used to be giants, and now we're mid-table. What is this about? So I think that's the you want to say is the scary part about when Pep leaves, because who wants to be another Arsenal another Arsenal? I'll put our heads on the chopping block when we had, when we are labeled as, giants in the EPL, and now we're acting like Jack climbing the beanstalk. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real.
I've not heard that in a long time, Jack and the beanstalk. Well, you and Sonny made a good point. And if you look at the Vimal and Joe, right? If you look at the transitional times, Wenger, when he left, where at Arsenal? Fergie, when he left, where is United? United have gone through 4 managers since Fergie left. You have David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole, now Rangnick, and another one in the summer. That's just after Fergie.
I got a question about that. Do you think if David Moyes was given as much time as Ali, do you think that y'all will, especially David having the same mindset as Fergie, do you think that you will be able to be more of a powerhouse than it is now?
Vimal, go first.
I don't think so. I've always seen Moyes as a mid-table manager. I think he's overachieving at the moment, and he will drop off. But then
he's better now. Then what do you think? I
don't know. Is he better? he just looks a bit more wrinkled.
Nothing wrong with wrinkles.
Yeah, He looks around 90, but I don't know. I don't think it would have worked with him at Man U. I think the club was too
Even
big
with
for him.
more time, if he had the same Ole time, you don't think?
No, because he was never really. Ole was part of this. I know he overuses DNA. I mean, he was part of that club, but he was absolutely useless as a manager. Ole had,
but I
Moyes
mean,
had no real connection to the club, and I don't think he could handle all the activities and the big heads and the egos and the player power. Just too much to handle for him.
Joe,
I think David Moyes would be right now a good manager to bring in as a stabilizer, but he's not the type of manager that would get us back to glory. I don't see David Moyes winning us Champions League titles. I don't see David Moyes winning us multiple league titles. If he wasn't able to get that championship winning team, if he got that team into sixth place, I don't want to know what he could have done in subsequent years, So I think
he inherited a team that just won the title. But
yeah, they just won the title.
In his defense, he could say they were slightly aging slightly.
Okay, that's still unacceptable, right? Like you're still okay. So I mean, we're taking the David Moyes that we see, the overachieving David Moyes that we're seeing now, and trying to think maybe that's the same guy that came on to Manchester United years ago.
This is a better version now.
This is definitely the better version. He's like the older Batman or whatever, but he's still, like I don't know, the old Wolverine or something, whatever. Yeah. But he's still definitely, I can see him managing like a Leicester City, West Ham. He's good over there if they invest in him. But I don't see him really doing anything. He's not our manager, and I think the initial reason why we got him, it was just like it felt like it was like an English thing. It was like an English handoff. Manchester United, we see, that's another thing about this team. We make a lot of,
it was a Scottish handover.
Yeah, exactly. But how should I say? I guess maybe Great Britain handover.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Right. So United, the way we move, we're like England's like club team, right? So I can see why they wanted to bring him on, but I just don't think he's good enough. I mean, his away record against top six teams alone should disqualify him from ever managing Manchester United.
Wow. Right. Let me bring in Liverpool here. All right.
Okay.
Vimal, Ben, you've seen the transition of great managers to managers who they think were mostly recommended by the great manager when he leaves. I mean, you've had some good managers, but you've had some bad managers as well.
Man, I have to say this. I've heard now about Moyes, I've heard about Fergie, I've heard about Wenger, I've heard about the Invincibles and the treble. And the only person here not talking about history is the Liverpool fan.
Yep.
We need 2 hours. We need about half a day for that.
Remember the days when the Liverpool fan used to be made fun of because he brought up history all the time? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he taking shots?
Huh?
I think
he's
so.
taking shots. I think he's taking shots. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, okay, so you see how the fall happens, right? You see what the psychology is like right now.
I mean,
he's not going. We ain't gonna say that. Go back to the years of know what I'm saying, when Liverpool did King Kenny wrong. We ain't gonna say.
Let's.
So my thing is this, okay? Don't fall in the Moyes trap. The only reason Moyes is better manager now, or has been any improvements he's made since he left United or got let go from United, is expectation levels. Okay?
Yeah.
He cannot manage. Even if you bring him back in his current state, he will not be able to live up to the expectations. He will not be able to manage the expectations of managing a club like United. He is Crystal Palace, West Ham, Watford,
mid-table,
Everton, club that that has grandiose plan. Like the thing is, like people give a lot of crap to Manchester City about spending, but like West Ham or like Everton, how much have they spent? Players like Richarlison and Digne and all these people. Everton have been spending. Never. Everton always wins the Premier League during the month of summer transfers. They always say they're going to win the Premier League during summer transfer. Summer transfer season does not win the Premier League. January also does not win the Premier League. Who you have at the end going through the motions, the manager winning game after game, the players winning game after the game, they win the tournament, they win the league. And Moyes, even if you bring him now and you give him a full checkbook, he's not going to take United anywhere. It'll just be throwing bad money after good. And to be honest with you, I don't remember the last really good British manager was Alex Ferguson. And if you want to talk about the last really good English manager, you have to go back even further to Brian Clough. You got to go back to Brian Clough.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest, yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest. That was the last time. After that, it's not. Maybe Graham Potter might be good. If you're going to, don't recycle, be eco-friendly and recycle garbage like David Moyes and Sam Allardyce and Roy Hodgson. Like these are all I call them eco-friendly managers because they keep recycled like garbage.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Ben, would you take Graham Potter when Klopp leaves?
I will go for someone.
Like they biodegradable.
And like Sunny said about how you have those certain people who like to study everything and they put their whole 200% effort, and that's the entertainment for them is perfection. That's very hard to perpetuate. It's very hard to perpetuate. You can have success with people like that, but it's very hard to perpetuate success like that because it's better to have a system in place, something like Bayern has, and I think City have it. Their guys like Zeke is what you see with City is how well they treated players like Yaya Toure and David Silva, all those guys who end up leaving City, they go to other leagues and they portray a very good image of City in other places. And that's when City has access to more talent. You see all this Latin American, Portuguese, Spanish talent that comes in there. It's because of how they treated their first batch of really good. Yaya Toure stayed there for a long time. Fernandinho has been staying there for a long time. Vincent Kompany has been staying there for a long time. They let their veterans age gracefully.
Wow.
And those guys.
So what's going on with Salah then? What's happening with him?
I think it will get done. I think, to be honest with you, with the Luis Diaz coming in, I think that might be the end for Divock Origi and Taki Minamino. I think they'll be on the way out because they can't find minutes for them. And I have a feeling that Sadio Mane, Naby Keita might have played his last season with Liverpool. Wow. So there will be some outgoings happen, and that will be in keeping with the self-sustaining transfer strategy that they have, where somebody's got to go to bring somebody in. Right. And I think Salah if Salah does not stay at Liverpool, it's a lose-lose. It's a lose for the club. I don't think he'll get the same amount of reverence if he goes to Real Madrid or somebody else. I see Real Madrid as the most likely candidate if he decides to leave Liverpool. But I say he's worth it. He's a cultural icon from a region of the world where they've been watching football, English football, long before the Premier League era. We used to get.
So he's on 200k a week at the moment, and he wants 300.
He wants 500k, but I think
500. That's going to break the wage structure.
That's a big jump.
Don't do
they
a
can't do
Sanchez.
they can't do
No,
it. Don't do
they'll-
it. No.
Liverpool
They're
don't
not-
really go that
Ooh.
far on players. Player
They
wage.
do
Liverpool
not.
don't really go there. Those
Ooh,
players
that's
don't
a-
spend.
What can he do with all that money, man? Come on
Huh?
now.
What?
What can someone do with all that money that they
Uh,
already
They
done?
buy a new house every
Wait,
week.
wait. What are you talking about? What can somebody do without their money? Do you know who the
500 a
owners
week.
are? Do you know who your owners are?
Nah.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know who the city owners are? What are you talking about? What are you gonna do with all that money?
No,
With Boston
No,
Red
that's a
Sox.
whole different
I-
thing. Owners-
I think he wants to be prime minister of his country eventually.
Who?
Of
Salah.
Egypt.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think he
Wow.
wants to.
Well,
I
he can
think he's
pay
got-
for his own campaigns, couldn't he?
He's got great. He's already an icon there in North Africa and the Arab region.
Wow.
He's a reason we have a lot of Arab fans right now. I think personally, I think they will bargain, like, you know, they'll compromise and they'll come to some figure short of that. But I think the best way is to keep him. It will be a statement that, you know, players want to stay here, and I honestly think he'll be the greatest we've had since Dalglish if he finishes his career at Liverpool.
Wow.
He'll definitely overtake Gerrard, because I mean, it's you know, when Gary Neville says that it's wrong that he wasn't included in the FIFA Pro, you know, I'm not into video games that much, but the fact that he's like being sidestepped for major awards and everything in spite of being on this form where he's like scoring nearly in every game. I honestly think he doesn't get the credit he deserves sometimes. But he should stay at Liverpool. If he does, there'll be a statue of him out front, and I think he has a very good social impact also. Considering his ethnicity, considering his religion, everything, he's a role model for a lot of people. The way he conducts himself.
Okay.
So
This is
I think,
a couple of things, Ben.
Yeah.
So Klopp is apparently leaving in 2024.
Yeah.
And Sonny, I don't know if you saw the message as well. I think Pep's probably not going to renew after 2023.
Yeah.
So there could be quite a big shift in the next few years in the
Yes.
Premier League.
So 2023, that's literally next season, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
Why is he leaving?
And let me add this. I
Probably
know
burnout.
I know
Maybe.
that there's a lot of ageism going on right now. Everyone's afraid to get old, but you know, all things got to die. I'm not saying Manchester City is, but you know, Rome died. They didn't do it in a day. You know, Greece was a superpower, but I think, you know, having the ruins and having the legacy and having the gifts of what, you know, those mega empires left us with is something grand too. So Arsenal, you know, hats off to Arsenal actually. And from what Arsenal has done, others will be able to use it as a stepping stone for growth and evolution. So I know that we won't always be able to, you know, have this glory, but I'm not really after it for glory anyway. I'm one of those people like Pep who I just like to study things deep. I may be into another sport in 2023.
Yo,
No, we'll
can
get you
ima-
back. Don't you worry. We'll find
No,
you.
one thing I wanted to ask, like, let's think about how much the schedule has changed. How you know, there seem to be more games than anything right now.
Right. Oh yeah.
The-
So
the
you need a
inter-
deep score.
The international schedule is different. I think there has to be a new standard because the rules are different compared to a generation ago. So I honestly, burnout is real, and it's not like right now they have to do a lot more. Managers have
manage the
to,
team.
and not everybody. Right now they're looking more at the talent of the person. Like Sunny had said that, you know, those kind of people, the people who like to study, they're actually like buried down deep. But the thing is, like, everybody needs an analytics guy right now. Everybody needs to find, you know, like the front office guy, like the director and the manager both have to work with each other. If the director wants a player more than a manager, then he's going to have to explain all these things. Take time. They're very stressful. The money is a lot more than it used to be. You're not going to see managers stay at run a club for 20 years anymore.
No.
You're not going to see.
Managers these days
You're
are
not going to
giving
see. No, you're not going to see. You're not going to see Alex Ferguson put on a helmet, get on a motorcycle, and drive to Cantona's house in Paris, begging him to come sign. Please come. I need you to renew the contract. That kind of personal touch is not going to be possible anymore. For Luis Diaz, they sent a team, but Klopp didn't go all the way to South America to sign Diaz. Diaz said he wanted to play for Klopp. The system in place has to speak to a player. That's why Barcelona never had to recruit people for a long time, because their system spoke to Latin American players that they want to play for Barcelona eventually. And look at that. Even that could not be sustained right now. All the La Masia and the Tiki Taka and all that, even that couldn't be sustained. Look at where Barcelona are right now. All those trophies they won in the last 15 years, has it made them bulletproof to financial struggle? No, it's not. They're struggling right now.
A very good point. A very good point, Bale.
Yeah.
Very good.
Can
Joe.
I make a quick observation real quick?
Yeah.
I like how, because Sonny literally was just like, hey, we need to appreciate all the old, basically the old civilizations for what they were, and, appreciate them now with all the ruins and all the.
Got a thing for me today. Got a thing for me today.
Doing her Greek mythology homework.
Are you calling the Emirates a museum? Is that what you just said?
It's the Colosseum. It's the Colosseum.
Where gladiators fought. That's where gladiators fought. Joe, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She brought Arsenal to the equation of greatness. It's okay. But we know. The funny thing here is this. Man United and Arsenal through the 90s into the early 2000s were head and head, the two giants of English football. Known fact. Liverpool used to be the giants in the 80s. Known fact. As you know, football turns round. City started coming slowly and slowly and slowly. If you don't forget, before Pep, there was Mancini. He didn't do too bad. I think he won 2 league titles at City. Yeah. So there was a winning mentality starting to build up already.
Don't forget Pep. Pellegrini. Don't forget Pellegrini as well. Pellegrini as well.
So if you look at it, each of those managers, Mancini won a league title. I remember he was the manager when Aguero scored that goal the last minute. Then Pellegrini won, I think, 2 titles. Think about it. So every manager before Pep, the last 2 at least, won league titles. But with United, after Alex, no league titles. After Wenger, no league titles. That tells you there's a little difference between City's transitional and United and Arsenal's transition. That's the difference. Vimal, do you see where I'm going with this, mate?
Yeah, it's definitely been a shift in power, but I think it will eventually change when Caesar and what's his name?
Socrates.
When they leave.
Socrates, Aristotle.
You know how much Pep is spent, by the way?
Her references are interpreting what football is about, mate. And it's the truth.
He hasn't even won. Wait, he hasn't won the Champions League yet, and we're calling him Aristotle. We're talking Pep. He hasn't won the Champions League.
I get it. But
you mean he hasn't won the Champions League with Man City?
With Man City, yes.
Very good, Mike. With Man City.
Okay, wait. I still got a little bit of smoke now. Right? Like earlier, she was talking about how he likes the fact that it's not about the money, everything. Pep, every team that he's ever gone to has bought himself trophies in every single team. Right? How many teams out there would have been able to buy Bravo? Right? It didn't work out. Within the same season. Within the next year, they threw money. Mendy threw money. Trust me. Okay, let's. It seems like we have a bit of revisionist history going on here. Like Pep Guardiola hasn't been backed by a country. So let's just throw that out there. Okay, continue.
Sonny, do you know how much he spent, by the way? Pep, just Pep on his own at City.
How much he spent for the
players?
I will say this. City is playing by the rules.
That's a politician's answer, huh? Politician's answer.
Financial
Direction.
fair
Redirection.
Well,
Actually, they're not.
I
They're
want to
not.
say that they haven't violated any rules. They haven't.
Over £1 billion.
Actually, they haven't been. I
Over £1
tried to
billion.
correct.
Well,
Let me
let her
correct
state
that.
her case. Let her state
No,
her
no,
case.
no, no. Let me correct that. She said they've been playing by the rules. Actually, they haven't been playing by the rules.
No. All these
The
sham
FFP
companies are sponsors.
The FFP, the financial fair play thing was nixed. That's why they've been playing by the rules. They were going to have the financial fair play enforced on them, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen because UEFA completely nixed the program. Chelsea got penalized.
Oh yeah, Chelsea did get
No.
penalized for a whole season.
Thank you,
right?
thank you,
They've
God.
not been
Because
playing by the rules.
he talking bush. He's talking bush.
Yeah.
But listen, they haven't been convicted of anything. Okay.
Now we haven't been convinced.
Let her
She's
finish.
negotiating. She's negotiating now. She's negotiating.
So you're only-
Joe
you're
and
only
Ben are really going out for
you
City
get
today.
convicted. So they're playing by the rules.
Donald Trump hasn't been convicted of anything either.
Then he's innocent.
Donald Trump didn't get convicted.
See, fish. Thank you. Thank you. Keep getting cut off.
Sunny finish. Sunny finish. Finish what you're saying.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, the thing is that, I get so upset at teams like Chelsea, who's owned again by Russians, and no one says anything. I mean, and then all of a sudden, it's a problem. There's a problem, because this country has come into owning this, this football team that's, has been notoriously, white, and so there's an issue. So all eyes, so everyone's scrutinizing everything. But it's kind of like the Astros, yes, signs, all of that signing stuff. I don't agree with that. I do not. But all of a sudden, it's a problem when the Astros are winning. Now,
Astros are a baseball team in the Houston Astros.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
And so the signs,
A bunch of cheetahs too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's just be honest. Now, I'm all for Astros and everything, but I don't agree with the cheating. But I'm just saying that it is everywhere. It is prevalent. And so throughout the years, the other teams haven't gotten as much, spotlight until, they are who they are. So, that you can say that money is why we're winning. Money is part of it, but Chelsea has money.
Which is true, but I see where Son is coming from. But you see, if we have 4 teams here: Man City, Man United, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Great teams. The only difference was before City became the superpowers, these teams already were achieved teams that had achieved a lot in English football. But in the transition and organizational change, there was a slight dip. That's the problem. Man United have a greater dip. After Wenger, you had who took over Wenger directly after Wenger, Mike?
You're talking about Biggs
Emery, right?
Yeah, because he went from there to he went to Milan.
They kicked him out. He failed. Now you have what's his name? Arteta, still struggling to win, keep the legacy of what Wenger. I mean, Wenger struggled after things went wrong for him. They literally kind of just said, you know what, it's time to go, mate. Just don't destroy your legacy. Just kind of leave. With Alex Ferguson, same thing. He left on a high. He even recommended someone who was kicked out. All right, brought in Louis van Gaal, a seasoned manager who won trophies in Barcelona and the Champions League, got kicked out. Mourinho, who won trophies at Chelsea, won Champions League wherever he was supposed to have gone, got kicked out. Then, okay, we're going to bring someone who was part of Ferguson's team, the super sub. It didn't work out. Now they're on a 4th manager. This guy's not going to be here long. So it's the organizational change that's a problem. But with City, they went from Mancini, Pellegrini, Pep. The consistency of winning league titles still went on. Okay, Champions League is not there, but they're still showing the best team in UK in terms of winning league titles. And that's where we are. It is, in reference to Liverpool, Klopp had to change a lot to get to where he is. but he still had a league title. Man United, we can't say we won a league title in what 11, coming on 10 years now, with 4 managers, 4 different, going on 5. We keep blaming the managers and the owners, but the structure is very important, which causes all these problems.
And I will also say, because the ambassador for the United, I don't want to say his name, was saying that, come on, Pep, money, come on, Pep is always there. He's always where the money is and backed by big money. But the difference is the intention of Pep and the purpose of Pep. Now, his purpose was not money or power, but the result was probably getting money and power. And that's the difference. So when all you want to do is be famous, then that's an empty, but when you really just love what you do and you would do it for free, like I said, studying those things, then those things, when you can attract people like that, and they're few, but when you can attract people like that, then, there's no, actually, I'll take that back. There's enough coming from certain countries. And I think coming from the countries that are always put at the bottom, looking at the Arabs, they're always, we can always say something negative about the Arab. Nothing great. They haven't done anything great, right? They're always at the bottom. But when you come to these countries that have this certain humility and used to working, you do find great. And Spain is one, I guess. But you do find great things. Portugal is their coaches are really great too. I'm very proud of Wolves coach Bruno.
Yeah, he's done well so far.
Oh, he's somebody to be reckoned with. So I fear that team, actually.
So is Nunes.
So Vimo, as it stands now, right? Ben, let me bring you into this. Before, who was there before Klopp?
Before Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers. Okay, he was close to win the title when the Gerrard slip, right? That was that season. Okay.
Yep.
So before Brendan Rodgers, who was there before Brendan? Was that Hodgson?
Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny, yeah.
Kenny Dalglish.
And did they win anything that when Douglas?
They won a League Cup, but that wasn't enough for the owners. So
Brendan Rodgers, what did he win?
Brendan Rodgers didn't win anything.
Okay.
But he was given an ample opportunity. He stayed there it's not like we fired him after half a season or 1 season. The only time we were reckless with firing a manager we got, and I thought that was the right thing to do, was Roy Hodgson, who got fired after half a season. Right. But like, if you notice, even and the thing is, this is my thing about the narrative. 30 years didn't win a title. 30 years, be specific. We didn't win 1 competition. Champions League victories were there, FA Cups were there, UEFA was there. We did
win the league title.
We didn't win the league title. Like a lot of people, they make a blanket statement like Liverpool didn't do anything for 30 seasons. That's wrong. There was success, and like what I said, the league is 1 competition in a season of at least 4 or 5 competitions that every club is involved in.
Vimol and Joe, would you say Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and Ole, who was the most successful out of all of them in those 4 managers? Vimol, you go.
Giggs. None of the above. Mourinho, yeah, but he was very toxic. His personality is he just rubs people up.
But he won 2 trophies.
Yeah, he did. Trophies. He did, but he always implodes. I don't know what's up with him. He's got some type of personality disorder or something. He always implodes at every club. He does well for a couple of seasons, and then bam, everything goes wrong. He doesn't get his way, and he just throws his toys out the pram. He did get some success. Yeah, we did play well for that season and a half under him.
So would you say he's the most successful after Alex? Would you put him in that category?
Yes. Although I thought he should have gone on and been a lot more successful, because I think he coveted that job for a long time. He let himself down, to be honest. He should have gone on and stayed at the club for 10 years and achieved lots and competed with Caesar and
Aristotle.
Aristotle.
Joe,
I know. I know Jose Mourinho has got to be kicking himself right now because like the only reason why he's in Roma is it's self-inflicted. You know, the guy just I don't know if the
He got
times have
fired
just
from
passed
Spurs,
him.
mate. He got fired from
Yeah, from
Spurs.
Spurs, bro. Spurs. But then we also have to define success. You know, you're just talking about trophies or
That
like to
is
me,
what you're
success is
measured on
also
these days, bro. That's what you're measured
well, I
on.
mean, it's yeah, that's that. There's also the style of play. This because at the end of the day, you're there to entertain folks, right?
Mhm.
Yes, the more you entertain them, the greater the chance of you winning trophies, right? And as far as entertainment is concerned, the type of football that we played, did I feel good watching my team play? Did my team look threatening? Did we go back to back glory days? It's just I remember those times, man. It was a mental struggle, man, with Mourinho at the
Mental
helm.
struggle.
You know, it really was because this guy was very reckless, unnecessary drama in that team constantly. The news
Fighting with
just
the
kept
players
on.
and
Oh my
yeah, I
God,
get
fighting
it.
with the players. I get that. There are just ways to do it. So as far as the trophy case, he has been the most successful.
Right. As much
But
as you don't want to admit, right?
he has been the most successful. But
So Ole, who was the
I
favorite
had a better
son
time. I had a better time on the Ole than I did
with no
Jose.
trophies.
With no trophies. Because I mean, I get it. We got the Europa League. That was a good win. And
It
I
was
feel
a
like
good win, mate.
if Ole had won that Europa League, it certainly would have definitely, even if he got sacked anyway, it would have put him over Jose Mourinho.
Yes, but you got to understand he had the longest reign than all the others in front of before him.
That's true. That just goes to show you, you know, the way you
So
conduct yourself
would
at
you
work
put it?
matters.
Would you say he failed?
Ole? Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely fell. Ole fell.
No,
Vimo, would you say Ole failed?
Oh, he definitely failed. I mean, they gave him plenty of
You
time,
never liked him, eh?
but he just no. He just
Plenty of
mismanaged the
time
club in
and
so
money.
many ways. You know, we had such a good squad. We were buying a lot of talent, but he just didn't know how to utilize them. You know, if he was, you know, like Caesar's team, he rotates a lot. You know, everyone gets to play. The system works. You know, you can play right back, left back, front attack, left attack, right attack. Everyone fits into the system, but Ole just doesn't have that that wherewithal to implement such a system. I think he's very he's a bit of a simpleton.
So you're trying to say
Unfortunately.
he had all the tools.
He is. Come on.
now.
He had the tools, but
Did
he
you hear his
failed.
press? Did you hear his press conferences?
Come on, a simpleton.
It's like
though?
he's
Come
got
on.
nothing to
Hold
say.
on, Joe, hold
Nothing.
on. Let Vimo finish.
I saw him as a simpleton. He didn't impart any footballing knowledge apart from it's a game of two halves and you have to score a goal. You know, it just didn't really give you any insight into what the man's thinking. Whereas with Ragnick and Caesar and Sir Klopp, you know, their interviews are actually quite interesting. They
Yes.
give you some knowledge about what they're thinking, what their strategy is about football. They have a real deep understanding. Ole never gave me that impression.
Because he didn't have or didn't know.
That's my opinion, Joe. Honestly, that's how I feel about Ole.
Joe, rebuttal that.
I mean, who knows? I mean, the guy's he's a professional. He's played at the top level, right? There's no way. I feel that I think he was more of a cheerleader than a manager. I think a lot of times those interviews was more for the players than it was for the fans. You know, he was just there to cover them up, but he was just more of like he's a fan, man. It was unfortunate. We got ourselves a diehard fan as a manager of the team. So everything that came out of his mouth had to be positive. Everything, and you know, yes, we would like to have that analytical mind, but we've never been in the locker room, so we've never seen Ole break things down in front of the team, right? And I just feel like he was just, you know, he had a different kind of way of doing his press conferences. Yes, it wasn't what we wanted, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that he was a simpleton.
I mean, I think it's
Ole
naive
Gunnar
of him.
Solskjaer.
Yeah, but I think it's
naive.
naive.
I would say naive.
You've got over a billion
Vimo.
fans. You've got over a billion fans plus the rest of the world watching. You know that you've got to be careful what you say in those press conferences. And if you sound like an idiot, that's how you're going to be perceived.
That's right. I'm with Vimo. Hold on, Ben. I'm with Vimol in this one because Joe, you are seeing the Ole as the footballer, which is great. I love him as a footballer, but as a manager, let's call it he failed, and I'm sorry.
I
He's a
said he
great
failed.
guy. He's someone I like
I
to
said
go
he
out with,
failed.
sit down, and have a cup of tea and biscuits in a tea bar. That's fine. But
Yeah.
football wise, I don't think he had the clue. Like Vimol said, he was a fan. I think he was like, I can't believe I'm managing this great club. He couldn't handle it. He just couldn't.
Yeah.
Mourinho could handle it, but Mourinho didn't have the attitude. Mourinho had
Yeah.
issues. He had the personality problem. He had an ego. He had to be, it's my way or the highway. Or why were you laughing when the team conceded the goal? Really? I mean, those little things that are not necessary. But Ole covered all that. He made them feel special when they were not special. He made them feel like they were better than they actually were. But as my dad used to say, all the clothes have now come out on the wash. You can now see like these players are not as good as Ole said they were. Look at them now; they're struggling. This is the same team. Ben,
Yeah. My point is, then since we're talking about managers now, the manager has to show that he's deserving of patience. Like the another like storyline, like another narrative I want to bust is about how they showed patience for Klopp. Liverpool has always showed patience for their managers. Roy Hodgson was the exception. Roy Evans, Gerard Houllier, going back to that era, they've always showed patience.
yeah,
The thing is, the manager, like in City sense, they are actually very patient with their managers, but at the same time, the managers are deserving of that patience. Mancini was
very
deserving
correct.
of patience.
Very correct.
Pellegrini, and it's a number of things that the manager has to do. He has to show the team in their results, even if he's taking them from the ground up. The team in the results, there needs to be some better rhythm of playing. There needs to be, if there is incremental success,
Success.
if there's incremental improvement, not success, improvement, like we say, improvement, and the manager is able to manage the expectations of the fans.
Boom. He has just finished that. That is correct.
Always the thing is, Mancini used to say, okay, he'll go, he's very tactful. The Italian guy, Mancini, Arrigo Sacchi, all those guys, the Italian guys, the German guys, the Spanish guys, they're actually very, very tactful with the media. They don't say anything reckless. Even Guardiola, he's always, the only time I see Guardiola lose it was when he was managing Barcelona, and he kept having to retort to something that Mourinho said. Mourinho.
See what you just said? Mourinho, the same guy.
The thing is, Mourinho did not hesitate to throw players under the bus.
Without a
He
doubt.
did not think twice before criticizing the fans, which you should never do. The fans are your lifeblood. If they are going to complain, if they're going to boo your team, you take it quietly and say that, okay, we didn't play to the best of our ability. I didn't manage to the best of my ability. The fans have a right to be upset. But you do not, working class people who pay their tickets and come in, you do not criticize them.
He said Man United has no heritage. That he actually said we as fans should not expect to be compared to Barcelona and Bayern Munich. That we should lower expectation. He had just lost a home game, knocked us out of the Champions League at home to Sevilla. Fans are upset. He says we don't have any heritage. Why are we expecting us? Why are we upset that we lost? That when he came as a Real Madrid manager, he defeated us. This guy was insane. This guy was a madman.
A manager who is deserving of patience is one who conducts himself the exact right way in front of the media, who manages the fans' expectations.
So would you say Ole conducted himself in front of the media well?
I thought, but the improvement in the style of play wasn't there. The substance wasn't there. All these things, the improvement in the team, the players start playing better together. All these things are what give a manager security in his job. It's a complete package. The manager is expected to do a lot always. He's
Right.
like the public face. He should not get into public complaints against the owners like Rafa used to do for Liverpool. You know, every time Rafa would always go after the owner saying they're not giving me enough money. Never do that. Never do that. You have to at least just stick to what's happened on the field that day, and don't, all your arguments have to happen in private in the boardroom.
Right.
And
Okay.
those are the kind of managers who do get patience and who are treated with patience,
Right.
who keep their job. Yeah.
All right. Quick question time. Arsenal, do you have any questions for any of the club fans here?
I have a question for you, Michael, if you can't think of something.
Mike, can you hear us?
Audio now.
Hey?
Mike, can you hear us?
I think we've lost Mike.
Mike, can you hear us? Mike,
No.
can you hear us?
Okay, now I do. Wow,
Okay.
that was weird.
Yeah, because we asked if you had any questions for anybody.
I guess not a question, but I guess a statement. And I know Big Zach, I know Big Joe may, you know what I'm saying, be attack me in a second. Big Zach, I think all Manchester United fans about to attack me in a second. I know that I want to say Jose was he's a jerk and a jackass in his own right, but it like I said, it gets the job done. I think sometimes it's just like, you know what I'm saying, he's like one of those I guess you could say he's like one of those managers that come and try to, like, you know what I'm saying, wants to actually bring that level of football. Remember what era they come from though. You know what I'm saying, versus what we're being watered down to what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Back then it was, you know what I'm saying, it was more of grit and grind. You know what I'm saying? You come here, you know what I'm saying, regardless of how much money you make, you come here to win championships. You're not coming here to be, you know what I'm saying, to be the one man team. You're coming here to win championships, to take silverware. He's from that era, the same era from Arsene Wenger, the same era from Fergie. Back in the days of, think about it. Back in the days of you know what I'm saying, of John Best and all of those, you know what I'm saying, and all of those greats. And you know what I'm saying, and coming up now, think about, I hate to say it, sometimes the culture of football is a little bit watered down. And being that the person that he is, when he comes to a club, he wants to get rid of all of that, you know what I'm saying, all of the dead weight, and let me get rid of all of this BS, and let me bring in the actual, the culture of football. I think, and this is happening in many clubs with different managers as well. When you got the, you know what I'm saying, the little boys instead of the men coming up, you know what I'm saying that, hey, this is football, let's play. They be like, you know what? If we play crappy for you know what I'm saying, for like a couple of games, they're gonna kick him out and they're gonna bring us somebody new. Because that actually happens. If you know, what I'm saying, look at the dynamics of what happens throughout the, you know what I'm saying, for the last couple of years. And I think that's why Jose doesn't stay at a club. That's why, look at Conte. Conte was at Chelsea at one time, and look what happened.
He won a league and a FA Cup.
Exactly. And then remember, Thierry Henry came on ESPN FC and said, sometimes you can't blame, it's like you can't blame the manager. And I do, other than you can blame Arteta for this, but you know what I'm saying, at Arsenal, you can blame him for everything. But in some cases, you can't blame the manager. The manager, you have to blame the players, because those managers come and they implement those systems there, and they say, hey, I know you're a world-class player and you can bring us silverware, but they'd be like, you know what? Nah, he ain't gonna be sitting up here telling me what to do. That Aubameyang, prime example. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, a lot of things slip through the cracks, but we're about to lose a world-class player just because media and, you know what I'm saying, because of a jerk just don't want to sit up there and say, hey, this is what he did, this is what this, that, and the other. And they, you know what I'm saying, they leave all of these gaps on what actually really happened. And when you hear it and you be like, that's why he's leaving us? That's why he's going, no, that's why he's a possibility he's gonna be going to Juventus?
Why is he being frozen out, Michael? What's the real scoop here? What's going on?
Prime example. Okay, you know when they said that he actually, you know how they said he got permission to go somewhere, and he didn't come back on time. Well, the situation was he did go for a personal reason, and the personal reason was I think it wasn't something that was actually something that was as emergency at the time, but then as it came some family situation, some type of friend or close friend situation happened, and he came back a little bit later. And be exact, I mean, I understand when if that is explained and it comes to the point where it's like, hey, this is what happened, first, second, and the third, instead of, you know what I'm saying?
But they said he'd been warned. He had been warned previously for his returning late from some of these.
That's totally understandable. But if I tell you like,
he had a history of this in Dortmund as well. This is not something new with.
I understand what you're saying. I understand
disciplinary issues.
Yes. I understand the history of the man, but my whole thing is that it's like I guarantee how many of us actually work for a job and you had a sick son, you know what I'm saying, that's 13 years old, and throughout his whole day he has been dealing with sickle cell. So the whole thing is that during that time, yeah, you could say it's a history or whatever, but there's a reason behind it. And if it does, and big that when it comes to the media makes it looks like, oh yeah, he just did this and he's been, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah, but do you think the manager and the coach and the upper management and the front office are going according to what the media says, or have they done their own thorough investigation and looked at things?
I would have thought the club should know better. I mean,
I think the club should know better.
Don't get me wrong. It's like this because of how the club is today, especially at Arsenal. Because of what's going on right now, hey, guess what? It's like this. We can blame it on something right now. And this is my club. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is that it's like, I can see, it's like seeing in between the lines. Even when you brought it up perfectly. You said at Dortmund. Who and Borussia Dortmund, right? So and who was the and Mr. Liverpool? Who was the manager?
Klopp.
It was Klopp, but I think when Aubameyang played, I think it was Tuchel. I think.
Okay.
I think Tuchel.
Okay. Right. Okay.
But I mean, not to hold it. I do apologize for making a rant, but no, my whole thing is that I think what I'm trying to say is the situation with Jose, and I'll leave it like this. The situation with Jose, sometimes the old school is not appreciated. The new school doesn't appreciate the old school.
I think that's where we are.
And when it comes in, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't take the yesteryear and bring it into the, you know what I'm saying, into this new year.
You're going to find yourself exit door, mate. That's where players are today. Ben, you have any questions for any of the fans here?
No, just I had a question for both the Manchester, Sonny and any of the United fans. So, like, as far as style of football is concerned, how much does that rank for you in what improvement you want to see, rather than, like, I know there's the front office, the back office improvements are needed, how they do business or how they run the business, all that kind of thing. But from a stylistic point of view, what do you want to see from your clubs? Do you see it already? Do you want to see something that, like you just want the trophies, or you want to see them, you want to see this team at least gelling together and improving? Because it's got to be gradual. Whatever like United are looking for, it's got to be a gradual improvement. It's not going to be you're going to wake up one morning and everything will be different. There's going to be a process for it. Is that, you want to see that process happening, or do you want it to be?
That has to happen. That's the only way that has to happen. Okay. It is a process, and it's going to be an adjustment in style and an adjustment in mentality. And that's the only way you can really succeed. I mean, that's what you guys have done in Liverpool, and
Chelsea are an exception. Chelsea are an exception. For some reason, they're able to make it happen overnight.
Yeah.
Every
but
summer,
Chelsea's recruitment process, I think, has been pretty good, and they
Yeah.
always get their targets.
Yeah.
I remember, we were going for Hazard, and we ended up getting Kagawa.
Yeah.
Hazard was a sensation at Chelsea, and Chelsea seemed to always get really decent players at very good prices. So I think they've got an amazing squad actually.
And when they fire managers,
Yeah.
take out Lampard from all the managers they've fired lately, there's always a manager who brings out a league title somehow, somewhere, out of nowhere. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't seem to have that who could bring out a league title even in the short time.
Yeah, I think it's the players we've been buying for the past 10 years. They've just been, who the hell would spend 50 million on Fred? For 50
Manchester
for
United.
50 exactly. For
Jose
50
Mourinho.
million.
He was the starting. He was the starting guy for Brazil. He was a.
Would you
And
take Fred
Shakhtar
in your
Donetsk.
team?
We took Fred's backup. We took Fabinho.
I would swap
Fabinho
Fabinho
was
for
the-
Fred any day. Okay, Freddie works hard, but he just he's a bit. Joe, help me out here. How can we describe Fred?
He's trash, man. He's trash. But you know what?
He was
Okay,
he was
I think that's what you're
evaluated-
trying to say.
he,
He's
wa-
trash.
he was evaluated higher than. In terms of his value, he was valuated higher than Fabinho at the beginning.
I will
before they
say
got
this
to-
about I will say this about Fred. We're judging Fred on a position in which he is not
Excelled in.
grown up playing. That is, it's the same thing as judging Greenwood as a right winger, is the same thing as judging McTominay as a central defensive midfielder. Well, I'll give them a little bit of slack because that is not their natural position.
So
They're
you're
doing
saying
what
square
they're
pegs
doing the
in round
best.
holes, right?
Square pegs, round holes. Going forward, go ahead.
Yeah. But under
Going forward, I
Caesar, they
don't-
would
go
have
ahead.
been able to transition into a different position. They just can't do it at Man
Not,
United.
they can't do it. Not because one, we haven't had the coaching that would be able to do it. We haven't
Right.
had the backroom coaching as well. Our backroom coaching is just as responsible for our form over the last 8 years as
True,
any one of
true.
those managers. The guys that are supposed to be in charge of those training sessions.
And
I
development.
don't know if they're playing hopscotch because the only thing I see is they're playing that freaking football,
middle.
table tennis. Yeah, that's the only thing. I was like, yo,
in the middle.
is that all is that all you guys do? Just with that freaking guitar riff playing on. Man, don't get me started on that. Whenever I see those videos come up, man. But
City,
yeah,
Sonny, trophies, playing style. What is it that City really after? Or is it they want both?
I think I hope that I think they are after. I think Ben had said this in a few interviews ago about the aesthetic, and I think at least Pep is, maybe the club is too, that they're trying to capture an aesthetic, a style, a strategy, and to blend this content and strategy together to make something aesthetic.
Mhm.
And Mike had said something like the goal is to entertain the fans, but I would like to say kinda. I would like to say that the real goal, I think, is to create this experience for the fans. And I think that's because there's this adrenaline rush. I mean, soccer is so addictive, and you feel so good. And when they do something amazing, you just feel it, it's like, I felt that high, I mean, it's amazing. And so to create this experience, and that experience is a high quality style. So I think they need to be always trying to find that high quality style. And I do feel like when I go back and review some of City's games, I mean, there's this energy, there's this dynamic, there's this tiki-taka, there's this, aggressive, but they don't lose their heads. And there's this beauty about the way their movement on top of that. So they are kind of like the ballerinas, like I said before. So I think that style is important. And then if you can be effective enough to make the goals, which is the goal. So I think trophies let's not lie, it's okay to get a trophy, it's okay to make money. Nothing wrong with that. But I think that the style, the aesthetic, and the culture, all of that is
Very important.
what City's after.
Right. Vimo or Joe, do you have a question for any of these people?
I have a question
Okay, go on,
for
Joe.
the City fan.
God. Are we going to have a history lesson?
Pep Guardiola is supposed to be leaving in what? 2 years?
2023.
24.
Next year, mate.
23.
2024.
Next year.
Oh,
Okay,
actually, it might be 23. Yeah.
okay. He's won the league with them, what, 3 times?
Mm.
Would it be over the next, like the last season, this season, his final season, would you consider it a failure if City doesn't win the Champions League? While they've been this dominant in the league, and this dominant, in some of the cups.
Absolutely not. I mean, I do not believe that any, let's say, standardized test means that you are a failure, or any test, and that's just a test. There's so many variables. No, I think he's definitely not going to be seen as a failure, even though who cares about the Champions League? I mean, we care about the Champions League, but who fucking cares about the Champions League? Sorry.
Wow. Wow.
Let's just be honest. I mean,
Are you serious?
City fan.
Are you serious?
Let her finish. Let her finish.
I don't even watch the Champions League games. I mean, it's not even high priority on my list, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a girl. I'm sorry. I apologize. You guys are like, oh, we need another hour, Tim. I mean, I know that it's supposed to mean the best in Europe.
Sour grapes.
It is.
Sour
It's
grapes.
not supposed to. It is.
Sour grapes.
And yes, to some degree it is.
Sour grapes.
But I don't care about it. I care about the EPL, and I think that's if you can win the Champions League, but you're not winning the EPL, I think something's wrong. Something's wrong there too. How is it that you're the best in Europe, you're not the best in your league? I think there's something wrong. And so no, I don't see him as a failure if he doesn't win the Champions League. I would see him probably more of a failure if he couldn't keep winning, the EPL. So if he doesn't win the Champions League, I don't really care. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I don't care. I don't.
Do you think he cares? Do you think that's what Pep really covers?
I think
Champions League?
that he, yeah.
More
sure.
importantly, those owners. You think the owners care?
I think
No, they
that,
do. They do.
well, I think, does Pep care? That's the first thing. And does Pep care? Sure, absolutely. Pep cares. I think so. But again, you have this person who is, again, probably never even thought he would be where he is. I mean, look at the player that he was. I mean, he was no great player. He just really loved football. And so for him to have gone this far, I mean, and to say he's a failure because he couldn't win the Champions League, but look at all that he's done. That's just silliness. That's.
Yeah, but
Oh no,
look
he
at all
was
the
a
money
great. He
that's
was.
been
No.
spent.
He was a pretty
he
good
won
player.
Champions
He
League.
was a pretty good player. He was. He played for Spain, and he's a Barcelona legend as a player.
Yeah, I mean, he won 2 Champions League at Barcelona against
Yeah.
Man United. Sadly
Sure, he
enough.
was a pretty good player. Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's a good player. He used to be.
I'm not saying he was Fred. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
he was better than Fred. No.
Do you think the owners-
Hey! You don't get to slander Fred. Nah, chill.
Okay.
do I think the owners care really quickly? Of course, sure, absolutely. But look at what the owners have done and created, and they are. So we have to also look at that. And they can, frame by frame, you work on things. And if that's the goal to win the Champions League, then I think that's the wrong goal to have. But to keep studying frame by frame slowly, I think that's the way to win the Champions League. But you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. And after Pep, if we get a coach as good as Pep, we will win the Champions League. Absolutely. Yeah.
Until,
Let me say
until
something
then, it
quickly.
doesn't matter, right? Until then, it doesn't matter.
Ben,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I think that's what it is.
say this to you. Graham Souness, is a Liverpool legend. He captained
Yeah,
Liverpool in
yeah.
the 80s, the great Liverpool
Yeah.
side. They
Yeah.
interviewed him about 2 years ago, and he said,
Yeah.
as a player then, what did you feel better winning? The league title, being the English champions, or the Champions League, which he won 3 times as a player? He said that there's a difference. He said the league, the Champions League, which is called European Cup then, was a
Yeah.
knockout tournament. He said, but when you're the best in the whole season across 38 games, that adrenaline is better.
No,
He
but
said, so yeah,
but
hold on.
back
He said,
then,
yeah. Even now, today's fans appreciate Premier League, La Liga, than Champions League. Sadly, it is what it is.
no, but back then when Souness used to play, The structure of the European Cup used to be different.
Right.
It wasn't the Champions
But if you
League.
ask any fan now,
Only
any fan
the
now,
team, only
most
the
of them
team
will
that
watch
won.
Premier League than Champions League. In
Because
today, the younger fans will prefer Man United to win the league title than win the Champions League. The only reason they want United to win the Champions League is if there's no other option, they're out. So now we want Champions
have
League
a
because we're not
chance.
going to win. That's it.
I,
We want to be
Uh,
champions of your country. That's number one. The dominance.
And there's a lot of luck involved as well with the Champions League. You know,
Yeah.
depending on the run of games, the
where
draw, the
there's a
opposition.
there's a group stage. There's so many knockout rounds now. It's not the same. It's not the same it used to be in the 70s and
Definitely.
80s.
Definitely.
I mean, Liverpool, you got lucky with drawing Tottenham in the final, didn't you?
What? Who
That was
was
very lucky.
and who did they beat? They beat Ajax. You think we wouldn't have beaten Ajax?
Well, unlucky for them, right? But I mean, that was a pretty bad final. Honestly, it was
It's all
terrible.
sour grapes, man. It's all
No,
sour
the
grapes.
Tottenham. Come on, did you see how Tottenham played? It was
Yeah.
just, it's like they'd been poisoned or something.
Not our fault. Not our fault.
But Tottenham were the.
I'll give him
Look at what-
Tottenham played that.
Look at what
Got
we
messed
did
up.
to get to the final.
Probably poisoned by the Chelsea owners. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
Right.
gonna go ahead and give Liverpool a little bit of credit because they were coming off coming from the final the season before. They were not gonna lose that game.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, they had lost the final to Real Madrid. the season
against
before.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
The way it happened with Salah going down, they were not gonna lose that game. So you got to give them credit.
That was against Real Madrid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When Ramos,
Ramos
was targeting
Ramos
Salah.
tried to rip off it. Yeah.
Right. Well, we have come to that time of the day. And
I was going to ask Michael a question, actually.
Go on.
So when Count Dracula eventually returns to his castle in Transylvania, which I'm sure you can't wait for, who would you like to see take over the reins at Arsenal?
Really? We talked about him earlier.
Who? Potter?
Jose Mourinho.
Oh, you want Jose Mourinho at Arsenal?
What? Yo, no.
Whoa, that, man.
No,
You know what?
trust
Jose
me.
Mourinho.
club.
Whoa, let me say this.
Oh.
Jose
Arsenal
Mourinho coming
fans
to
will
Arsenal.
revolt.
Jose
There'll be a
Mourinho.
demonstration, mate. There'll be a protest.
You don't want that, bro.
Forgive me. Jose Mourinho coming to, know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not really an American football fan, but Jose Mourinho coming to Arsenal will be the same thing as Bill Parcells cleaning out the Dolphins and know what I'm saying, and taking, know what I'm saying, and making them bring back to a franchise when they was like crap for like almost a whole decade.
Would you prefer Patrick Vieira? What do you think
Huh?
of Patrick Vieira?
Oh,
What do you
that
think of
looks like
Patrick
a better
Vieira
fit.
came?
Patrick Vieira, after, I mean, don't get me wrong, he did something great with the New York Football Club over here in the MLS. That's cool. I mean, look at it's MLS though. It's
Look
not,
what
Not
he's
as
doing.
bad as Crystal Palace, considering
He's
what
with
he
Crystal
has.
Palace now. Look what he's doing with Crystal Palace.
They are
that's
impressive.
that's all I'm
That
saying.
team
It's
is
Crystal
impressive.
Palace.
I
Palace,
mean, they've got,
Yeah,
they've got this-
I'm telling you, bro. You
they've
don't
got
want
this
that.
Palace are
talent there.
13th.
He's
They're
doing
Yes,
13th.
yes, we do.
Mid-table. They're
Yes,
all
we
right.
do.
They're 13th.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I guarantee he'll whip all of them into shape, and to be exact, he'll bring a system there. Like I said, I like old school. You know what I'm saying? If you bring the old
But
school
the
to the new
players
school,
don't
we'll
like
win.
old school. The players, they don't like that. The first thing they do is go on social media. The first thing they do is report to the agents. Oh, I'm not. Look at what we're going to for United. Because Ole made them so comfortable, made them feel better than they actually are. Now Rangnick is exposing them like, listen, Mo, you ain't that good. You're going to be on the bench. Oh, I don't like this evening training. We can't play. Old school doesn't work anymore because today's players are too soft. That's the problem. That is the problem. But Pep has made them realize you don't like it, that's the door. But here,
that's one thing.
And Pep is from the old school.
you're right. But I think Pep is still part of one of the last, and we club are still part of that old school mentality. I think
And
so. I really do.
the thing with those two, with their system, you're gonna get results. If you're gonna be that guy,
Exactly.
you got to get results.
That's
If
right.
you're not gonna get results, nobody's gonna back you.
There you go.
And Jose, if he comes in and he gets results, he'll be able to whip that team. But with his style of play and with his mentality of falling out with players, it's going to be hard for you to get results if you're falling out with your players.
I'm gonna say this little tidbit, and then I'll leave Jose the Jose situation alone. when Jose went to at Chelsea the first time, they told him, hey, it's your squad, do what you need to do. He brought him silverware. You know what I'm saying? He went to Inter Milan, brought over Samuel Eto'o, and know what I'm saying, and Big Zach and Ibrahimovic. What did he do? He sat up there. They gave him, hey, you got it all, brother. Do what you want to do. He took silverware. Went over to Real Madrid. They said, hey man, the reign is yours. We'll even fire this, you know what I'm saying? this regional dude that we got that just over even the B squad. We'll get rid of him as well. And Big Zach, we're gonna give you all reign and power. Sat up there and brought them silverware. Do that at Arsenal and be like, hey, you want silverware? You know what I'm saying? Tell Stan the man to sit his behind down and get out of my face. And Big Zach, give me with the power I need so I can go ahead and buy players and bring you silverware. Let me clean house and let me build from the ground up. I'll bring you silverware. That's what we need at Arsenal. And Arteta ain't going to do that.
Wow. That's deep. Well, on that note, Julius Caesar, we have anything?
Julius.
All right. Well,
Rome
it's been
was built with £1 billion.
It's been an absolute fun day today. It's been absolutely fun. But you see, as much as football is today, I mean, Joe and Vimol and me, we wouldn't mind if that money was pumped into United and we're winning titles. We'll take it. We're not going to turn it down. We know that is the way football has gone. It's just sad, but it just happens that it's our neighbors who are doing this. That's why it hurts just a bit more, and we have to deal with it. Every season, we look at the league table like, damn it. Last season, we saw we were close to City then. It is what it is. On that note, it's been an absolute smashing time today. I enjoyed this one. This was fun. I really enjoyed this. Okay. I see you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you for representing Liverpool. I appreciate you, brother. The United crew, Vimol and Joe, thank you very much. Also, my brother, thank you for, I can see Arteta is not on your Christmas wish list. I get that. As for Her Highness, Julius Caesar, Aristo, Socrates, Rome and the Greek giants, emperors and empires, gladiators. I thank you very much for your time, guys. Thank you very much, Sonny. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll meet again end of February to see if City or Liverpool have closed the gap. We'll just have to wait and see. Liverpool are the only hope to turn this season to a 2-horse race. Other than that, it's lights out and the title is heading to Emirates. Sorry, Etihad. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Mike, I do apologize. Sorry, Mike. It wasn't meant to be.
Don't you know that's a museum? Emirates Museum.
I do. Sorry, I mean Etihad. Sorry. So sorry, guys. But it's been an absolute pleasure. So, guys watching, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share our videos, and we shall see you in our next one. From us, it's goodbye and good night. Thank you very much, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Take care.
Take it easy, Chief.
All right, mate. Bye.